Hey guys, welcome back to another FPL stream. You can tell that we are both still pretty sad about that game. Usually we're bopping behind stage to that song, and today it was just not today because that was a terrible game. But we are not here to talk about the game. We've done that enough. I personally just want to put it into the back of my mind and forget about it. So no questions about the game will be answered in the stream. This is the last time that we will be talking about it. We will only be talking about FPL. And it is really a massive week for FPL. We're coming into the closing stages. My game week 35, as always, did not go as planned. I'm saying this every single week. I transferred in Maguire. He got injured for the first time in I don't know how many years. Ollie Watkins red card. What was the other? There was something else that I messaged you that I was I can't believe this happened. Oh, my bench. My bench.
Oh,
has So
rubbish week.
How's your game week going?
Not very well. I've just got literally just above average. The most annoying thing was I was umming and ahhing between James Ward-Prowse and Eze, and I was like I said to you the other day, just go with your gut. Just always go with your gut, because my gut was Eze, and I went with James Ward-Prowse because he's got more points than him, and actually that was really stupid in hindsight. And James Ward-Prowse got me 4 points, and Eze would have got me about 15. So yeah, that was frustrating. So I've got obviously a few players left to play, but a bit of a disappointing game week. I've gone down in all my leagues, which isn't fun.
I feel because I was going to captain Greenwood. What's his? Why can't I think of his first name right now? Mason Greenwood. I was going to captain him, and I went with the majority, and I captained Bruno Fernandes, and of course he scored a second goal, and he played. So I'm kicking myself for doing that. But anyways, guys, if you have questions, get them into the box. We can try to answer as many as possible as well. I do want to talk about your strategy for this upcoming game week, because we know that there are quite a few teams that aren't playing. Chelsea aren't playing, Man United aren't playing. So we had this triple Man United game week this week, and then next week they don't play at all. So maybe we have quite a few Man United assets that now aren't playing at all. So how's your team looking? What do you think about this game week?
So currently I'm going to do 2 transfers. I'm going to take a -4, and that would give me 11 players that I think 100% will play. I'm going to bench Iheanacho, Castagna and Shaw. They're the players going to be on my bench. And I'm going to sell Bruno to free up some money. I'm going to sell Bruno, and I'm going to sell Veltman, because Veltman might play, but I can't be in a position where I'm taking a risk. So I think I'm going to put in Andy Robertson. Differential to Trent. Everyone's got Trent, obviously still got potential for attacking returns. So I'm going to play, I think I will have 11 players. And I think my move with Bruno is probably going to be to a Man City player. I don't know who that's going to be yet. A lot of people are going Mahrez, but I think I've got to be taking risks at the moment. So I'm looking towards Phil Foden. I think surely he's going to play a strong team against Newcastle, but you say that, it's Pep, so anything he does wouldn't surprise me these days. But yeah, as far as I'm looking at my team, it's okay. I will have 11 players playing, and 11 players which should play. The only issue is if one of them doesn't, then I've got no one off my bench. But I'm not taking a -8, -4 is enough. How's your team? Is your team looking?
Yeah, no, I was in the same position because I had 3 United assets. I also sold Bruno Fernandes because I've been thinking about doing it for weeks. It was kind of, I don't have Bruno or Salah. This is going to go really good or absolutely terribly. But the only reason why I kept Bruno is because I was I don't have Salah, so I need many assets. But he has been so disappointing in the recent game weeks that after talking to you, I was I only have 10 players as well. I might as well just take a -4. You get 2 points if they start anyway. So then it's -2, and you have somebody else in your team. So So I transferred out. Hold on, let me go to my team right now. So I also have 11 players starting. I'm not 1,000% happy with my team, but it is what it is at this point. So
who would your starting 11? Who would your starting 11 be?
So right now I have Martinez in goal, Dallas, Keane, Alexander-Arnold, Mahrez, Jota, Lingard, Son, Watkins, Bamford, Kane.
Nice.
So I think I did Bruno for Mahrez, and I did Iheanacho for Bamford. Reason being Iheanacho blanks and then plays Chelsea and Tottenham, so really difficult fixtures coming up. And then Mahrez, I felt like he hasn't played, I think, since when was the last time he played? I think it was the Champions League game. Like, I think he's been rested for at least a week. So I was thinking he probably should play. And with City assets, I think it's like always difficult because you never know who's going to play. But my reason for transferring him in was I think he might start. He's a really good he's a pretty good differential. He has just 5.7% ownership. And if he doesn't start, like, I wouldn't have had anybody to come off my bench. Anyways, next week I do have a strong, like, I have my bench. Maguire, he's injured, whatever, but then I have Greenwood and Castagne. So like, if I bring on one of those players, like, I think I would be kind of covered in that department. But I don't know. I just wanted to like change my whole team, and there's only like 3 weeks left of the season.
Yeah, I'm struggling with what to do. I want a Man City asset, but I really don't know. I don't know whether to go with someone slightly more like certain to start, but then I'm looking at options for midfielders. I just like was going down the list earlier of like cheaper midfielders, and you know, you've got like Ward-Prowse, Gundogan, Mount, Pereira, Harrison. But I'm just not feeling it. And I've got like 8, nearly 9 million to spend, and it's like, well, am I just going to be wasting money just for the sake of it? I really don't know. So that's going to be a real tough decision for me that I'm going to decide after this game, and just sort of go with it and hope that it pays off. I hate this part of the season. I hate it.
I know. Well, this is my first time playing this part of the season, but I just feel like, especially this season, I have felt so unsure because none of the big assets are really performing that well. It's just like so weird. Robin asked, should we remove City players from FPL? I think it depends, like, if you have a strong bench. So I'm pretty happy with my bench. So if I transferred in Mahrez because if I play him and he doesn't start, then I know that I can have somebody like a Kane or a Son come in. I probably bench one of those two. So, and if he does play, he's been getting a lot of attacking returns as well. He scored like 3 goals in Champions League. So I think it depends on your bench, but you know, they're going to be really resting until, this is the thing, right? They're going to kind of be resting. They've already won the league. So
will they rest? Will they rest? They've still got what? 3 games left?
Yeah.
2 games left? 3 games.
I think it's 3.
So they've got 3 games. So we look at that Newcastle game is the one which I think they'll play a strong team in, and then they'll probably look to rest. The closer it gets to the Champions League final, the more chance that they're going to rest those players. So, I mean, I would avoid more than one City asset. Like, don't have more than one City asset because you just never know who's going to start. But I think if you want to take like a little bit of a risk, and I like, if you want to get like ahead in your mini leagues, going for differential players that, you know, people don't have, like Mahrez or Foden, Bernardo Silva. But yeah, you just got to hope that you can try and predict what on earth Pep is going to do. But I don't know why I'm putting myself in that situation to try and predict Pep, because every time I tried, I failed miserably. So
I feel like for me, I was like, I don't have anybody else that I want to transfer in. I have players I want to transfer out. Like we were texting and said like Jota, he has not performed in so many game weeks, but
No,
I just like had other priorities that I wanted to transfer out. And I was thinking, who do I really transfer in for him? Jesse Lingard, I'm hopeful for, but he also hasn't really been performing and hasn't been taking as many shots like on target or in the box as he had. So we have a question from James. He says, Captain Son or Kane next week. So Tottenham are playing Wolves. I would captain Son personally. Like, I think he's in much better form. Harry Kane has, I think, 2 goals and 5, and Son has 4 goals and 1 assist in 5. So personally, like I think Son is in better form, but Harry Kane is Harry Kane, and he has the most goals and assists in the league. So you really can't, but
I've only got Kane. I've literally only got Kane. And if I had both, I think I'd be more inclined to captain Son, just because he is more of a differential, and probably a lot of people will be captaining Kane this weekend. Because out of the two, you tend to have Kane over Son. But yeah, if you've got both of them, I would sway towards Son there.
Yeah, I have both of them too, and I really don't want to have
to go Kane.
What?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Kane. I looked at all the fixtures, and
none of them are like
Liverpool,
fantastic.
maybe, I don't know, maybe Salah, but no one stands out really. But Wolves at home, you'd think that Wolves haven't been that great this season, so there might be an opportunity there for Kane or Son. But yeah, I don't have enough money to put Son in, which is annoying.
I'm doing something crazy. I'm captaining Mahrez if he plays.
Nice.
Let's see. Yeah. I was like, let's go crazy. If he doesn't play, then my vice captain is Son. So
yeah, but you're not worried that he might come on for like 20 minutes.
The thing is, like, I feel like when Mahrez is on the bench, he doesn't really usually
come on.
He doesn't usually do that. So
I'm captaining Phil.
I don't know. Maybe I change it to Son. I don't know. But this is kind of what my God is saying. Like, just be risky. None of my choices pay off anyway.
Yeah.
Arjun's asking thoughts on Bane versus Wolves because he said that he asked you about it and then Bale scored like a hat trick.
I'm not talking about Bale anymore. No, that's not for me. But yeah, you were, bang on. I think I said, if you have got him, I personally wouldn't have him, and I'm sticking by that just because. But these games are perfect for Gareth Bale. I wouldn't have him in any of the good games, in any of the big games, because I just don't think he doesn't seem up to it in those games. But in the games like Wolves at home, I think like if you've got him in, like I probably wouldn't transfer him in just for this game. But if you have him, then yeah, why not? Yeah. Absolutely captain him. Yeah. I was like, no, don't ever captain Bale, but in these games, he seems to be proving me wrong.
You just never know. Like, it's such a crapshoot. Someone says, I have Chris Wood in my FPL team. Is it a good time? Is it good to keep hold of him?
100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna just check. Yeah, he's
in my work league. I've got like there's a guy that's above me, and he's got Chris Wood, and he had him when he scored the hat trick. He's had him when he got a goal and an assist. Like he's been brilliant, and for such a cheap striker, he's his just value is brilliant. I would 100%. I probably wouldn't captain him, but definitely keep hold of him. Don't look to sell him, especially with Iheanacho not having a game this weekend, and all those cheaper forwards not having games. He's definitely a really solid option.
Yeah, and I'm just looking up. So Burnley play Leeds, Liverpool, and then Sheffield. So like I think 2 of those 3 fixtures are like very favorable. And Liverpool, you could honestly go either way at this point. Like you just don't know how they're going to play. I was actually thinking about transferring him in as well. But I just didn't in the end because it turns out I don't have to transfer out Ollie Watkins. So that's another thing, guys. If you have Ollie Watkins, he's serving his match ban in Game Week 35 and not in Game Week 36, so you don't have to transfer him out. Nahal asks, who's a good replacement for Chelsea defenders since they don't have a game this week?
So I would say an Everton defender. Sheffield United at home. I know Everton have been bad at home this season. They haven't been great. But I just think Sheffield United have been relegated. I would put a lot of money on Everton keeping a clean sheet. I would say someone like Stuart Dallas, who's the highest scoring defender. He plays in central midfield, sometimes even further up the pitch. So you're going to get, whilst Leeds might not keep a clean sheet, you don't have Dallas in your team for those clean sheets. You have him there for the attacking returns, and he's proved it this season. He's been absolutely ridiculous. If you can afford it, a Liverpool defender. I mean, you'd have to have money in the bank, because I don't think any of those Chelsea defenders are near 7 million for the likes of Trent or Robbo. But if you want a cheap one, then you've got Nathaniel Phillips, Nat Phillips. He plays. Kabak, I think Kabak got injured and missed the last game. So maybe if you're going to look for one, maybe look for Nat Phillips. But yeah, I would say Liverpool, Everton. I wouldn't say City. They stay away from City. But yeah, Liverpool and Everton, have been and have been, got good fixtures. And I would say Dallas is always a good option whenever you're thinking about trying to fill a defensive spot. I think, you've missed, he was obviously really cheap, and he's obviously now over 5 mil. But I mean, Chelsea defenders will be over 5 mil as well. So you'll definitely have money for Stuart Dallas if you want.
Yeah, I have Dallas, Keane from Everton, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I have Maguire. I was happy about this, and then he got injured, so I'm playing like a back three, I think, for the rest of this season. John says, should I bench Bruno or buy Salah for no hit?
Oh, if you can, if you don't have to take a hit to do that, then I would say, look at Liverpool's fixtures. They've got nothing to play for bar this Champions League spot. So Salah's going to play every single game. Is Bruno going to play the last game of the season when they've got the Europa League final a week later? I don't know. Who's been in better form? I mean, arguably, I think Bruno's actually only just got more points than Salah. Salah's about 30 more points than him. But I would say Salah's guaranteed near enough to play every single week, and their fixtures are pretty good. Bruno's been up and down recently, and they've got other things to play for. So if you don't have to take a hit and you've got a free transfer, I would say definitely buy Salah, 100%.
Yeah, I totally agree. Robin asked by Emil Smith-Rowe. He's in form now. That's
really frustrating, because he was going to be one of my picks for this game week, and I just bottled it completely because of the fixtures they had. And really, they had a good fixture the first game, but I didn't obviously expect him to score against Chelsea. But yeah, he's like 4.5 million, I think. So yeah. If I don't actually know what Arsenal's fixtures are like.
Take a look. Arsenal don't play in this game week, so maybe not for this week.
Yeah, maybe not yet. But for the last two, I mean, Crystal Palace away, Brighton at home. Arsenal again haven't got anything to play for. They're playing to finish above Tottenham, pretty much. Potentially in a Champions, in a European spot if they can. But yeah, I think Emil Smith-Rowe will probably play all two of Arsenal's games they got left, and they've got Crystal Palace and Brighton. So yeah, I don't see why not, especially if you want to free up some money, you want a big striker, or you want a good defender, then yeah, I would definitely suggest getting Smith-Rowe.
No. Nahal says, is having Mount worth the money? He's priced at nearly 7 mil. Is he really a goal threat? Would you guys recommend having him? For me personally, I'm staying away from all Chelsea attacking options. You don't know who's going to get rotated. It seems that Mount plays more or less every game, but then we've seen that he is subject to rotation as well, and he's not really scoring that much. Chelsea aren't scoring that much. I think in 15 games we scored 16 goals or something like that. So, and it's not like the goals are coming from the same people either. It's all over the place. So I just don't feel like you can really trust any Chelsea attackers. We don't know if Timo Werner is going to play. We don't know if Pulisic is going to play, and none of them are really in fantastic form either. So I personally would stay away from it, especially because Chelsea have extremely difficult fixtures for the last 2 games of the season as well. And we're still playing Leicester in the FA Cup, City in the Champions League final. There's just a lot to play for.
Too many important games to play Mount, and Mount's going to be played in all of the most important games, which for us are I think Leicester this weekend in the FA Cup final. Mount's our best player, arguably. So maybe Kante's our best player, but this season I think Mount has been brilliant. He'll be playing on Saturday, and I think he'll play against Leicester in the league.
Yeah.
Depending on how the result goes tonight with Liverpool, Manchester United, if Liverpool win, I expect Chelsea to play their strongest team in the FA Cup final and in that game against Leicester. And then I could potentially see maybe Mount being rested for the last game against Aston Villa, to then potentially play, which he will start in the Champions League final. I still can't believe we're in the Champions League final.
My heart is racing. Like, what is my monitors?
I know. So yeah, I would say probably stay away from Mount. Yeah, like Ellie said, we don't know who's going to play. He might play, but then he also might play like he dropped in yesterday. He dropped in when Callum Hudson-Odoi came on. He dropped into central midfield. You don't get the same attacking threat with Mason Mount when he's playing in central midfield than you do when he's playing as part of a three up top. So it's completely. I think you can get for that money, you can get players that are going to play every single game between now and the end of the season in the league. And I don't think Mount's one of them. Although I think he's a good option, I just don't think it's the right thing to do at this stage of the season.
Yeah, maybe for next season he could be like a really good option, especially because he's adding more goals. But
I'm hoping we see like a more solid Chelsea team next season.
Yeah,
we don't know at the moment. I think there's a few players we know that Thomas Tuchel prefers. I suppose we do sort of, but he does chop it and change it a lot.
I have no idea who's preferred.
Yeah, I think that's just him as a manager, though. I'm not sure. Like, as much as I want Tuchel to, pick a starting 11 and go with it, I don't know if he's that sort of manager. I don't think if he does that, I don't expect him to make 7 changes every week. But yeah, I think even next week, unless Werner's banging him in for fun, I can't think of like a standout Chelsea option right now that I'd be like, yeah, 100% match week, game week 1 next season, I'm having him in my team. Yeah, I might put Werner in just because I did last season and I wanted him to do well. But yeah, there's not one Chelsea player that stands out for me that's guaranteed to start in like a, in that front 3. I don't know.
No, freaking yeah. So we that was a long-winded way from both of us to answer your question. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you. I really appreciate it. Lots of content coming up, you guys, especially with the end of the season. Oh, James asked an interesting question. What's the biggest thing you've learned from FPL this season that you wish you knew from the start? I can take this one since I just started playing FPL this season. Like, for me, the biggest thing was like I used my chips stupidly. Like, I didn't realize what the bench, like how important a bench boost could be, or what was the other one, or the where you can just switch your entire team for 1 week. Like, I just completely messed it up, and like I didn't know about double game weeks or any of that. So I think like to focus on those things and like hold off for the first half of the season probably to use your chips, and then you can use them wisely when you have a better idea of like who's in good form. You're already a pro, so maybe you don't have anything.
I would just say like not something I've learned that I just to go with your gut. I've been saying it to myself all season. Go with your gut. If you have I did it once and it paid off. I said, right, Ollie Watkins against Arsenal. I just wanted to captain him. He got 9 points. He got me nearly 20 points by captaining him. And that paid off. And I just think when you're undecided on 2 players, just go with the first player that you thought when you were like, yeah, I'm going to go with him. Because that's messed me up so much this season when I've been like, and listening to other people. Don't listen to other people because other people get in your head. Go with what you think, what your decision was going to be, because there's also been times where I've like, me and my manager have been talking and I've listened to something I said and then been like, oh, maybe should I? And then I make the same decision and then I'm like, well, what an idiot, because I was never going to do that. So I just need to not let people get in my head, basically, is my thing I've learned.
That is a really good point, because I do the same thing. Like I just like think, but everybody's going to be captaining him. Maybe I should just do it. And then I end up not captaining the person that I wanted to. And I could have gotten a lot of points. Literally always happens. But, I think we answered a good amount of questions. I have like a lot of things. I'm very busy today. So I guess long, and I'm sure you are too. So Liv, thanks so much again. Our weekly FPL video, we'll have to find some
2 weeks left.
What?
Only got 2 weeks left.
I know. I was just gonna say, like, we need to find some
two more episodes.
Euros or something. Like FPL. I don't know. That's it's insane. Only 2 weeks left of the Premier League. The Euros are right here as well. I still don't know who I would be supporting because I'm not European. I'm American. Probably England and Spain, honestly. Like, I don't think I can't not support Spain, but I just love the English players so much. So let's see. But guys, hopefully this was helpful. Let me know how you get on in your FPL weeks. We're coming towards the end, so going to be a really exciting last couple of weeks. And thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a lot of content coming out with all of Chelsea's massive games. Hopefully we can get that win in the FA Cup. I really need that. I really, really need that. So guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm out.